For 15 years, Nicholas Grant lived behind high walls, not just in his mansion, but in his heart. A self-made billionaire, he had everything: the largest real estate empire in the East Coast, a line of luxury hotels, cars that roared like beasts, and a schedule so tightly packed it would crush a normal man. But what he didn't have, and hadn't had for a long time, was trust. Especially in women. He wasn't always like this. At 27, he was in love, engaged, planning a future with someone he believed was his forever. But the woman he gave his heart to broke it in a way that still echoed in his nightmares. She wasn't just unfaithful, she used him, stole from him, and humiliated him publicly when he was just beginning to rise. Since then, Nicholas kept love out and success in. He built an empire on cold logic, tight control, and strict boundaries, especially with women. At the towering Grant Plaza Hotel, Nicholas didn't even acknowledge female staff directly. His assistant was under strict orders to hire only male personal staff. No woman worked in his private office, his penthouse, or even drove his car. He wasn't rude, just distant. As if a silent wall separated him from anyone who reminded him of vulnerability. Then came her. Maria. She wasn't supposed to be there. The cleaning company had sent a last-minute replacement. Maria, a single mother of two, barely 30, had been assigned to clean the top floors that day. Nervous and tired from her overnight shift, she quietly entered Nicholas's penthouse suite, not knowing the tycoon himself was still inside. The first time he saw her, Nicholas was in the middle of a call. He turned, expecting to see one of his regular male staff, but instead, standing at the corner of the hall was a woman in a simple blue uniform, holding a mop, her head down in embarrassment, soaking the floor accidentally near his Italian leather shoes. His voice froze. Her hands trembled as she tried to apologize. "I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't know anyone was here. I'll clean this immediately. I didn't mean." He didn't yell. He didn't scold her. He just stared. Something in her voice didn't feel like fear, it felt like shame. Like she had carried too many apologies in her life and this was just one more. And in her eyes, there was no greed, no hidden motive. Just tiredness. And quiet strength. He walked past her without a word. But something shifted inside him. The next day, she was gone, replaced by a man. Yet for the first time in 15 years, Nicholas asked about someone. Quietly. To his assistant. 2 weeks later, Maria returned. He requested her, not openly, of course. He just said her work was more efficient. But every time she came, he noticed something more. She worked with care. She folded towels like she respected them. She whispered to herself while she cleaned, soft songs in Spanish. And once, when she didn't know he was watching, she picked up a torn photo frame that had fallen from his bookshelf. It was of him and his mother, the only family he had lost. She gently wiped the glass, smiled faintly, and placed it back with both hands, as if it were sacred. He began to leave notes. "Thank you, Maria. The place looks good." She never replied, only cleaned more carefully. One day, he left a fresh rose in a vase near where she always started. She never took it, but she smiled at it. Weeks passed. Months. Nicholas began waiting for the days she came. He didn't know why. He wasn't falling in love, he wouldn't let himself. But Maria was different. She was kind without expecting anything in return. She didn't try to talk to him, impress him, or charm him. She simply was. One evening, he found her crying quietly near the back corridor. Her hand was pressed against her forehead, trying to hide her face. She didn't see him. He didn't move. But that night, he called the cleaning company. He told them to double her salary and reduce her shift. No explanation. The next week, she left a note for him. Her first words to him ever written, "Thank you, sir. You didn't have to." He wrote back, "I wanted to." And so began their silent exchange. Not romance. Not flirtation. Just two human beings who began to see each other without words. She told him, over time, through folded letters left behind, that she had 2 kids. That her husband had abandoned her when the youngest was 3. That she worked double shifts so her children wouldn't sleep hungry. And he told her, about his mother, who raised him alone. About the woman who hurt him. About the years he built walls. One day, she didn't come. Then 2. Then 3. Nicholas felt panic he hadn't felt in years. He called the company. No answer. He finally searched. Personally. It took him 2 days to find her home. A broken building in a neglected part of the city. She had fallen sick. Pneumonia. Her son had taken a photo of her lying in bed and sent it to the company begging to keep her job. Nicholas didn't hesitate. He paid her rent for the next year. Got her private medical care. And sat by her hospital bed for hours, reading aloud the books he once hated. When she woke up, she smiled through cracked lips and said, "You really are kind, sir. Even if you hide it." He laughed for the first time in years. Not because it was funny. Because it felt real. Maria never asked for love. She never needed it to be repaid. But Nicholas gave it anyway. Slowly, gently, he opened up. First to her. Then to her children. Then, to life again. He didn't propose with roses or diamonds. He offered her a key. To his home. And to his heart. Not because she was beautiful or charming. But because her kindness, her quiet strength, had broken through 15 years of silence. And for the first time, Nicholas understood. Kindness doesn't knock at the door. It cleans the wounds you forgot you had.